This Sunday night, the biggest football game in the history of Western civilization will take place at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Sunday, after a season that started with 32, 30 have gone by the wayside. We are now down to the final two. Sunday night, either the New England Patriots will successfully defend their Super Bowl championship and begin another dynasty, or for the first time ever, the Philadelphia Eagles will walk away with their first ever Lombardi trophy. Sunday night, it is Super Bowl 52. Philadelphia Eagles, New England Patriots. Two will enter, but only one can walk away with the hardware. The most prestigious piece of hardware there is, the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Hello, friends, and welcome to this very special edition of Strictly Sports. As tonight, we are going to preview Super Bowl 52 between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New England Patriots live this Sunday night on NBC from the US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Unbelievable. We're already here. It seems like just yesterday we started this season, and now here we are. One final game. At the end of the night, one team will walk away with the most prestigious trophy in all of sports today, the Super Bowl, the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Man alive, I mean, it's unbelievable to think that we are all here. And now, 48 hours from now, we're going to be crowning a champion. So, tonight, well, before we start, I do want to let you know, good old MF Michael Fletcher will be late coming in. He said to start without him, and we'll just simply catch him up on what he missed, which hopefully will not be much. And all I know is this is going to be a special show here tonight, and one we look forward to every year. It's going to be an amazing night, and it's very simple what we're going to do here tonight. We're gonna give you our thoughts on who has the edge offensively, who has the edge defensively, which special teams have the edge, who has the coaching edge, and then at the end of it all, we will give you our prediction, and we'll tell you who we think will be raising the Lombardi Trophy 48 hours or so from now. So, can it top last year? Will it top last year, which was the greatest Super Bowl of all time? Or will it be a dud? Or will it be another classic? I don't know. But one thing is for sure. And alive, it's going to be it's going to be such a sight. I cannot wait. And this is the first time since Super Bowl 26 that the Super Bowl is going to be played in Minnesota. The city of Minnesota was at the old Metrodome in Minneapolis. Patriots opening up as 4 to 4.5 point favorites. They met once before. We all know what that was. Super Bowl 39 in Jacksonville, and the Patriots won 24-21. So will history repeat itself, or will we have a different outcome? There's really nothing more to say except, friends, if you're watching, share this with your friends. Share it on all aspects, Facebook, Twitter, what have you, because this is a show you simply cannot miss. Everything you need to know regarding Super Bowl 52, we're going to give it to you right here tonight. So, oh boy, there's nothing really more to say except into it. Offense. The offense of both teams. So, just set up everything here. So, okay, so here we go. Starting it off with the offenses. Of course, the quarterback position. You got Tom Brady. You got Nick Foles. We all know. We all know who wins that edge. No question about that. But before we get into that, I'm going to give you a rundown. I'm going to give you some schematics here, like I always do. So let's start with the Philadelphia Eagles. The reasons to be excited. They've proven they're an elite team that is able to overcome any obstacle, no matter the circumstance. They lost franchise quarterback Carson Wentz, left tackle Jason Peters, running back Darren Sproles, and linebacker Jordan Hicks before him, and still pushed through the NFC to reach the Super Bowl for the third time, only the third time in franchise history. Reasons to be concerned? Well, there's the whole Brady Belichick thing. They've dominated the league for the past couple of decades, winning 5 championships. One came against the Eagles after the 2004 regular season. They're going against legends and doing so without their best player, Carson Wentz. The Eagles will win if they're able to pressure Brady with their 4-man rush. Their D-line has been the team's top strength over the course of the season. If defensive end Brandon Graham and defensive tackle Fletcher Cox are able to dominate, and defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz doesn't have to bring many blitzes, the Eagles will be well positioned to capture their first Lombardi trophy. X Factor? Simply put, Malcolm Jenkins. Jenkins' versatility should be on full display in what I expect to be an aggressive defensive game plan under Schwartz. Look for Jenkins to get some matchups against Rob Gronkowski. He has the skill set and the physicality to compete in coverage. And don't forget about Jenkins coming hard off the edge in those Philadelphia blitz packages. Add in the ability to drop down as a run defender, and Jenkins can have a major impact against Brady and the Patriots offense. And here's an interesting stat nugget. There are several similarities between the 2017 Eagles and the franchise's other 2 Super Bowl teams in 2004 and 1980. All 3 started 10-1, set or matched franchise records in wins, finished in the top 10 in total offense and defense, lost their final game of the regular season, and they beat the Vikings in the playoffs. How about that? Now for the New England Patriots. Reasons to be excited? Well, start with familiar faces on the opposite side who played a huge part in the Patriots Super Bowl win last year. Running back LeGarrette Blount and defensive end Chris Long. They are thought of highly in New England, and now to win another Super Bowl, the Patriots will have to stop them. And then consider this angle. When the Patriots won their 3rd Super Bowl in 4 years in the 2004 season, they beat the Eagles to do so. Now, as they go for a 3rd Super Bowl in 4 years, it is the Eagles again. Neat storyline. Finally, a Tom Brady versus Nick Foles quarterback battle obviously favors New England. We don't even need to get into the X's and the O's on that. Quarterback edge, that's all New England. Reasons to be concerned. For those who believe defense wins championships, this isn't good news for the Patriots. The defenses that have had the greatest success against the Patriots are those that can rush 4 and get pressure on Brady while dropping 7 into coverage. The Philadelphia defense has shown the ability to do so. The Patriots will win if they win the turnover differential. Arguably the most impressive stat in the Bill Belichick era is the Patriots are 159-15 when they have a positive turnover differential, including playoffs. So always start there when it comes to the team's chances at winning. X Factor? No question about it. It's Danny Amendola. Amendola has racked up 196 yards and 2 touchdowns on 18 grabs this postseason. It's the route running, the quickness, and the scheme in New England that makes him a prime X factor in the Super Bowl. Look at how the Patriots create space inside of the numbers or focus on Amendola's ability to shake coverage in a phone booth. This allows Brady to dice up the middle of the field on high percentage throws in the short to intermediate passing game, and that's a blueprint for success. And their stat nugget? The Patriots are the first team with 10 Super Bowl appearances. They're 5-4 in their previous 9. The Steelers, Cowboys, and Broncos are tied for the second most appearances at 8 apiece. So those are your schematics for the game that I just wanted to share real quick. Of course, like I said, Patriots 4 to 4.5 point favorites. Games on NBC. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, and Michelle Tafoya will have the call. And yeah, so We already talked about the quarterback. We all know Bullock and I were both agreed, and I'm sure MF when he comes in, will give the edge to New England on that clearly because it's Tom Brady. Hello. Running game, I might have to consider this a toss up. I mean, on the New England side, you have Dion Lewis and James White, the Super Bowl hero from last year, by the way, James White. And on the other side, you have LeGarrette Blunt. LeGarrette Blunt, we all know, is a punisher. We all know he's a beast. So I really can't put one over the other there. Receiving core, both receiving cores are dynamic, but I have to give the edge to New England on that front. I mean, mainly because of Danny Amendola, and especially what he did in the AFC Championship game against Jacksonville. He was Mr. Clutch, especially when Gronk went down with that concussion. We can't forget about Brandin Cooks. Brandin Cooks, a young man who is admired very much so by my young friend from church, Josh Avery. He is a huge Brandin Cooks fan. He loves his body of work. He loved him even when he was in New Orleans. He loved his body of work, and I know for a fact he would be. He loves him even more now that he's on his team. So, and then can't forget about Dorsett, who came over in the Indianapolis trade, and also Gronk, but that's more of a tight end thing. But Philly, with Nelson Aguilar, Alshon Jeffrey, they're both great, but I have to give a slight edge to New England when it comes to the receiving core. And tight ends, no question about it, you got to give the edge to New England. No disrespect to Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is a wonderful tight end. He's one of the 10 best tight ends in the game today. He really is. But Gronk, come on. And it was also announced, I believe it was just yesterday, that I guess Gronk has cleared concussion protocol and he will play on Sunday. And I know Patriot fans, including Michael Bullock, were all letting out a big old on that one. So, and I think those Patriot fans in my church group, I think they all let out a big old praise God on that if I know them. So when it comes down to, when you factor in everything on the offense, I have to give it to the New England Patriots. No doubt about it. Patriots win the offensive battle. That's just how I feel. So, Michael Bullock, come on in. Let's get your thoughts here. We start with the offense from the four key positions, quarterback, running game, wide receiver, tight ends. So, Bullock, offensively, I say your team has the edge. I'm sure you're going to agree with me on this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like you said, I mean, you got to break it down with position, of course. When it comes to the quarterback position, I definitely got to give the edge to the Patriots because obviously, hello, it's Tom Brady. I mean, he's got more experience. I like what I've seen from Nick Foles. Especially in that NFC Championship game against the Vikings. He had one heck of a game. Many people were criticizing him, especially when he had that huge task of filling in for Carson Wentz. But he's done a good job. But we're gonna see if he's gonna be up to the task on the grandest stage in the Super Bowl. But but I gotta give the slight edge to the Patriots. Like I said, with Tom Brady, especially what he did again in the AFC Championship game against Jacksonville was just unbelievable. I mean, and that obviously was the best game of the two conference championship games. So obviously, with the game on the line, you definitely gotta give it to Tom Brady. So Patriots have the edge on that. And when it comes to the running backs, I do agree. It is a toss up. On the Eagles, you got, of course, former running back LeGarrette Blunt and of course, Jay Ajayi. That's a pretty good combo there when it comes to running the football. But then on the Patriots side, you got guys who not only can run, but also can catch it out of the backfield, especially with one guy who's been really stepping up his game. That's Dion Lewis. So he's going to be a key player in that running game. But then again, let's not discount James White, especially after his performance in last year's Super Bowl. And if Tom Brady didn't set those records in last year's Super Bowl, I think James White could have been the MVP of Super Bowl 51. But of course, another guy you got to definitely keep an eye on is, of course, uh, that's of course Rex Burkhead, and I mean he was on a roll before he got hurt, so definitely got to keep an eye on him. So yeah, it's definitely a toss up. So I gotta say it's even when it comes to the running back position. So yeah, and then when it comes to the receivers, you definitely got to give the edge to the Patriots on that one. Of course, with the Brandon Cooks going over 1,000 yards this season, and of course Danny Amendola, who really has stepped up in the playoffs. Of course, going over 100 yards in the divisional matchup against the Tennessee Titans, and of course what he did in that AFC Championship game, especially the catch that pretty much put the Patriots ahead for good. So, and I expect him to play a huge role again when it comes to the Super Bowl. And of course, for the Eagles, I mean, you do have some. Of course, you got Aguilar, and then of course Alshon Jeffrey. I mean, no disrespect to them, but I got to give the edge to the Patriots in this one. And then tight end. I mean, come on. I mean, you got to go with the Patriots. I mean, especially with Rob Gronkowski, and yes, Patriot fans did let out a huge sigh of relief with the news, of course, of Rob Gronkowski clearing a concussion protocol, and of course now he will be playing in Super Bowl 52 on Sunday evening, and that's going to be a tough matchup for that Eagles defense, especially their linebackers. And of course, I mean, no disrespect to Zach Ertz, who had a good season too, with over 824 yards receiving and 8 touchdowns overall. So, yeah. So, no disrespect to Zach Ertz. I mean, I definitely got to give the edge to the New England Patriots in this one. So, overall on the offense, yeah, you definitely got to go with the Patriots in this one. So yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for that. So let's move on to defense.
And Michael Bullock, you started off. Who do you give the edge to on the defensive side?
I'll tell you what. I mean, on the defensive side, I mean, you take a look. In the front four, of course, led by. You got of course led by Fletcher Cox, and of course you got Brandon Graham, who has really led the way defensively, and Brandon Graham with 9.5 sacks. Fletcher Cox with 5.5 sacks, and of course you got Timmy Jernigan as well, and of course let's not forget about Derek Barnett as well. So that that front line is definitely good, and then of course when it comes to the Patriots, you do have of course. Of course, you got, excuse me, Trey Flowers, Malcolm Brown, Dietrich Wise, and Lawrence Guy. So, not the big name players, but they do come up with some big plays. But but because of the numbers that the Eagles have put up, I got to give the slight edge to the Eagles in this one. I mean, as far as the linebackers position, I also have to give the edge to the Eagles in this one. I mean, with Donnell Ellerbe and then of course when it comes to the Patriots, I mean, you do have guys like Kyle Van Noy who's made some plays, and Marquise Flowers who's really come on strong as of late, and of course the young Alandon Roberts. But I got to give the edge to the Eagles, and when it comes to the secondary, I mean, you got for the Eagles, you got guys like Ronald Darby, and then of course the captain of that secondary, led by Malcolm Jenkins, and then of course for the Patriots, you got Stephon Gilmore, which I'm pretty sure you're. I mean, come on, Flory, you got to at least be happy for the guy that he's playing at a Super Bowl.
Yes, I absolutely am. Absolutely.
I mean, I know he used to be a member of your team, but you got to at least be happy for him that he's playing in the big game, and with that big play that he had in the Jacksonville game where he had that stop on fourth down that pretty much sealed the victory for New England, and then of course Devin McCourty and Daron Harmon have been playing well, and Patrick Chung, who's made some plays in the safety position, and of course let's not forget about the hero from Super Bowl 49, Malcolm Butler. So to me on that one, I gotta give the edge to the Patriots. So when it comes to that, I mean, just because of the experience when it comes to the Patriots sides, but overall defensively, I gotta give the edge to the Eagles on this one. So Florio, I think Michael Fletch is I mean, he's here now. So do you want to catch him up, or should we toss it to you to give you your thoughts on the defense?
Well, I want to get MF caught up first. So you didn't miss much. MF, you didn't miss much. You only missed the offense, and Bullock started off on the defense. So MF, we're gonna, well, ladies and gentlemen, good old MF Michael Fletcher, who has just joined us. Told you he'd be here. So, all right, MF. Of course, as we all know, for everybody who's been watching for the last several years, he is the Phil Simms to my Jim Nance, and I expect a full dose of that here tonight. So MF started off with the offense. I mean, I know that's not really your expertise. That's more of my expertise. But offensively, who's got the edge? Eagles or Patriots?
Well, it's actually very interesting to say. I think if you really think about it, it goes a number of ways. First off, quarterback play, no doubt about it, advantage in New England. Tom Brady versus Nick Foles has been, I mean, Brady's got the experience, the caliber, the Super Bowl pedigree. I think we all can say that. Nick Foles, though, has really been very good, especially in that NFC Championship game. I really like what he's been doing. So we'll see what happens on Sunday night. Running game, advantage Philadelphia. I love that combo of Jay Ajayi and Garrett Blount more than the New England Patriot running game. Yes, there's a couple of areas where they're better. I just don't think right now, if you really think about it, it's kind of more of a close margin, but I'll give Philadelphia the advantage. Wide receiving core, I'm going to give a slight edge to New England. You know, Danny Amendola, Brandon Cooks, they've been really well lately, but I also love Alshon Jeffrey for Philadelphia. I think he's definitely been really good more than anything else. And then once you get into the tight ends, this is actually a complete draw. Zach Ertz for Philadelphia and Rob Gronkowski for New England are the go-to guys of that offense. Any third down conversions that they need through the air to get a big chunk of yardage, these are the guys that you're going to rely on heavily on Sunday night. Of course, Gronk, you're a little concerned because of the fact that the concussion, even though he's clear to play, is he at 100%? I don't know for sure. But definitely that's a wash there. Offensive line, again, a draw there as well because of the fact that both their offensive lines have been really good up to this point. And, even though Jacksonville did get to Brady early in the game, but once it got to crunch time, Brady was absolutely flawless, did not get himself in any trouble at all. So definitely there's going to be some interesting battles, to say the very least, in that front. Now, so if you want my overall opinion on the overall offense, I got to give a slight edge to the New England Patriots because of the veteran awareness, because of their Super Bowl pedigree, and the playmakers that they have. I think they're going to be a little better than Philadelphia is. So offensively, check mark to New England. Now, over on the defensive area, this is where I actually agree with Michael Bullock. The front four of Philly is ferocious. They will get to the quarterback. Fletcher Cox is going to be the key to this game on Sunday night. He's my X factor. He's going to be the one that's going to tell us one way or another how Philadelphia is going to be playing in the Super Bowl, because of the fact that Fletcher Cox needs to get to Tom Brady. He's got to make him force the issue, and that's going to be a thing that the defensive coordinator for Philadelphia is going to have to do. And that is, how are you going to set up, what type of schemes are you going to get to Tom Brady? What are you going to look for? Are you going to hold back? Are you going to bring your guys back and let the defense play in man-to-man coverage? If you do that, I like your chances, because New England doesn't do well with man-to-man. You go in a zone read, that's when you get yourself in trouble, because then Brady will pick you apart. But what type of blitz packages are you going to throw at Brady? Are you going to bring the front four guys? Are your linebackers coming after Brady? Is there going to be some safety blitzes? Are you going to do something? Are you going to do what Atlanta did in that first half of the Super Bowl when they jumped out to the 28-3? And that was, they made Brady come after you, but then what they did was they brought like four guys back, four to the front, had a spy on him. That's what happened to the Steve Alford play. If everybody remembers the Steve Alford play where he did the pick six, Brady thought he had Julian Edelman wide open on a quick slant. He didn't realize Alford was there spying on Brady the whole time. He ran up, got the pick, but he already had the momentum going, and he was going and off to the races all the way for a pick six in the Super Bowl. The last play I remember that was very vivid, that was similar to that play, you got to go back to Super Bowl 44, Tracy Porter, when he picked off Peyton Manning and basically slammed the door on Super Bowl 44 and a world championship for the New Orleans Saints over the Colts. So that's what you got to do. The front four of Philly is better than the front four of New England. I'm calling that right now. Linebackers, advantage New England. I love the linebacking core of the Patriots better than the linebacking core of Philadelphia. I just think in that situation, I like their chances. Michael Bullock, I disagree with you about the secondary. Advantage Philadelphia. I liked, because of the fact that too many times New England's defense has gotten burned by big plays downfield, especially the first game of the season against Kansas City, most notably the game against the Miami Dolphins on Monday night when Jay Cutler looked elite, like an elite quarterback, like he had won a couple of Super Bowls in his day. The one biggest play that I can tell you that was basically the difference of it was the Hakeem Grant touchdown, when he basically literally burned Malcolm Butler on that play. And Butler's had a horrible year. He's been picked on a little bit, especially against guys like Julio Jones. I think you remember that Michael Bullock better than anybody else. We were there to see the game at Buffalo Wild Wings when Julio Jones absolutely disrespected him right before our very eyes. So, I mean, yes, New England's defense or New England's secondary can get had. And remember, last week, what was the one thing that everybody was saying? Oh, Nick Foles can't throw it deep. He can't throw the deep ball. He can't go downfield. He went downfield against Minnesota, and he lit them up. I mean, he absolutely obliterated them. And that's the number one defense in the NFL, and they did that to them? You don't think for 1 second that New England's not going to get burned. I think there's going to be a couple of plays here and there where I think Nick Foles is going to kind of try to get greedy. And Alshon Jeffrey versus Malcolm Butler, watch that matchup. That's going to be the matchup to watch on this side of the football. To me, I agree with Michael Bullock at that point. Advantage Philadelphia on the defense. I'm all caught up. Anthony Florio, it's all yours.
Awesome, Matt. Very good. Yep, no question about it. I agree. I agree with these guys. It's Philadelphia, hands down. I mean, yeah, that D was, in the immortal words of Gorilla Monsoon, something else. And maybe they didn't lead the league in sacks like Saxonville or the Jacksonville Jaguars as we know them. But yeah, I mean, that Eagle D, I mean, is just lights out. They're absolute gangbusters, no question about that. I mean, but I'll tell you what. I mean, New England's D, you know, they started very slow. I mean, Derek Ferreira, you know, our Imperial Grand Poobah. I mean, there were times where he would send me messages on Facebook and just absolutely go nuts and talked about how he said that defense was just absolutely terrible in the whole 9 yards. But the turning point for the Patriot D was against the Jets. There was that one game against the Jets that I think they absolutely, you know, that really stood out. But that Philly D, I mean, you know, that there's no question about it. I mean, MMF, you know, pretty much ran everything down. I mean, I believe they had like 38 sacks or something like that. 38, 39 sacks during the regular season. And I mean, just incredible. I mean, when you really think about it. Now, offensively, we all know New England's got the edge on that part. There's no question. And yeah, I mean, wow. I mean, I really can't put much on that. I mean, they allowed about, well, yards against the yards per catch. That's something they have to work on. But they, you know, yeah, they did have significant problems with the no-huddle offense, Philly did. I mean, they faced it on 123 plays, a high number that makes sense considering that opponents were often trying to come back from deficits. But they also allowed 18.2% DVOA to no-huddle offenses. That's far, far worse than their defense overall. They had 5 defenders with more than 20 hurries, and 2 of those, Chris Long and Derek Barnett, technically not starters. The Eagles were the best defense in the league when opponents had their quarterback under center. I mean, a minus 28.5% DVOA, about 4.1 yards a play. When the quarterback was in shotgun, they were 9th. And going spread or hurry up doesn't force the Patriots to go away from the running game because of their flexibility on offense. So that's something we definitely have to watch on there. And yeah, I mean, you guys pretty much touched on everything. I mean, I really can't follow up much on that. So defense adjusted value over average. That's what DVOA stands for. So yeah, it's Philly. I mean, I'll try to get more into it. I'll try to have more information on that in a minute because there's usually a preview article that I go by, but unfortunately I cannot find it. So I'm going to have to try to free swing this as best as I can. So, But I definitely agree. It is the Eagle defense. No question about that. I'll try to get more into that in just a moment. But while I do that, let's go into our third area, which is the special teams. And MF, since you haven't led off yet, I want to get this one started off with you here. So, MF, your thoughts? Who's got the edge when it comes to special teams?
Well, this one's actually a little bit interesting because you're talking about the punting and the kicking more than anything else. And of course, everybody knows that Steven Gostkowski is one of the most clutch kickers in all of the NFL. However, guys, unfortunately, this time around, Gostkowski's made some mistakes this season. He let a few good kicks get away. He made some bad misses along the way during the season. So I kind of feel like at this point in his career that, I don't think he's hitting the cliff like they would say, but it's going to be very interesting to see. It's going to be very telling what's going to happen here. It's going to be a good matchup. Nothing more to say. We're gonna see if this is going to be, it's going to be a good game, no doubt about it. But I got to feel like as far as the kicking game or the special teams go, I kind of have to give the advantage to the New England Patriots. So I'm going with the Patriots on this one. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I gotta give the edge to the Patriots as well. I mean, Gostkowski. He still has made some good kicks, but like you said, there are times he could be inaccurate and miss some kicks that are makeable. But I still want him to be kicking field goals when the game's on the line. Elliott. He's really good, but can he do it? Can he make some big kicks when it comes to the big stage? So, and then in the punting game, nobody does it better than at field position than New England, especially when you got Ryan Allen, and then how that special teams comes down and basically doesn't make sure that there's no return. So the field position is always the most important thing. So definitely I got to give the edge to New England when it comes to the special teams. So Florio, I give it to you.
Yeah, definitely New England. When it comes to, place kickers, Steven Gostkowski, Jake Elliott, they're both great, but you got to give the edge to Gostkowski on that one. But I do have some interesting notes from the special team side. Special teams should be a mismatch, and the added field position will help the Patriots. This is the 6th year out of the last 7 where the Patriots ranked in the special teams DVOA top 5. Meanwhile, the Eagles special teams were generally mediocre. The one bright spot was kicker Jake Elliott, who replaced veteran Caleb Sturgis after week 1. He had 84% of field goals with 5 out of 6 from 50-plus yards, including a game winner from 61 yards. But even at that position, the Eagles aren't as good as the Patriots. Steven Gostkowski connected on 92.5% of his field goals, and his ability to drop a kickoff in right in front of the goal line to force a return makes him the most valuable kickoff man in the league. The average Gostkowski kickoff that was returned ended up at the 21.5-yard line. The NFL's average return kickoff ended up at the 24.8-yard line. Only Detroit's Sam Martin was better than Gostkowski in less than half as many attempts. Meanwhile, the average return of a returnable Elliott kickoff went back to the 25.8-yard line. The Patriots also got better kickoff returns out of Dion Lewis than the Eagles got out of a committee of running backs, mostly Corey Clement and Kenyon Barner. Punts are also an area where the Patriots have an advantage, although less of one. Neither team was particularly good or bad on punt returns this season, but the Patriots got better punts out of Ryan Allen than the Eagles got out of Donnie Jones, and better punt coverage as well. Note that one of those bad Eagles special teams games gets a bit of an asterisk, since the Eagles had to use linebacker Kemu Grugier-Hill on second-half kickoffs against Dallas in Week 11. But Elliott was still kicking, when the Eagles' coverage allowed a 61-yard kick return to Ryan Switzer in the first quarter. So, no question about this one. It is New England when it comes to the special teams. I agree with you 100%, my friends. So, now we move on to the coaching aspect. Yeah, I think this is another no contest here. It's got to be advantage New England. I mean, Bill Belichick. I mean, slowly but surely getting up there when it comes to the all-time wins mark. I mean, no disrespect to Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson, in just his second year in Philadelphia, has done an amazing job getting them to the Super Bowl. And I mean, that's awesome. Very, very. I mean, but then again, Bill Belichick, his second year on the job, he got the Patriots to the Super Bowl and they won. So that's something to think about there for Peterson. But Bill Belichick, I mean, think about this. You think about everything that he has done in his entire career. I mean, just absolutely amazing. And I mean, I really don't know how you can go against him. I mean, I think he's won more Super Bowls than any other coach in the history of the game. I mean, guess I try to find the numbers. I try to find the numbers that he has. Okay. He's been coaching in the league forever. I mean, here you go. I mean, he's done it all. Say what you want about him, but he's done it all. He's won 5 Super Bowl championships, which I believe is more than any. He has 250 career wins, 214 with the Patriots. He's 250 and 118 overall. Postseason, all right, here's his numbers since coming to New England. 214 and 74 in the regular season. 36 I beg your pardon, 27 and 9 in the postseason. Just astonishing. One of the greatest defensive minds in the history of the game. I mean, he's been coaching in the NFL for 42 years, since 1975, when he was a special assistant with the Baltimore Colts. And then he did that for 1 year, and then for 2 years, he worked with the Detroit Lions, 76 and 77 as an assistant special teams coach. Then he went to Denver for a year in 78 as an assistant special teams / defensive assistant. Worked with the special teams, and then of course he went with the Giants. He was there from 1979 to 1990. When he first came, he started as a special teams guy, and then he worked with the linebackers around 81, 82, and then 83 he was full-time linebackers, and again in 84. And then, of course, defensive coordinator under Bill Parcells. Rest is history when it comes to that story. 85 through 88, he was a full defensive coordinator. He also worked with the secondary in addition to defensive coordinator in 89 and 90. Cleveland Browns head coach from 91 to 95. Worked for a year on the Patriots with Parcells as an assistant head coach in secondary. And then went with Parcells to the Jets, 97 to 99, same position, assistant head coach in secondary. And then since the year 2000, well, look what he's done. That's all there is to say on that. Look what he has done. I mean, there's nothing else you can say about the man. So, like him or not, say what you want about him. I mean, he's the most brilliant mind in the game today. And like I said, no disrespect to Doug Peterson. I mean, Doug Peterson as a coach, I mean, you know, he was put in a tough position, you know, going into, I believe he succeeded Chip Kelly, and, you know, he was a player, you know, he used to be a quarterback, as we all know. He was a quarterback, and he's only been coaching since 2005 when he was the head coach of the Calvary Baptist Academy. And then he worked with the Eagles from 09 to 10 under Andy Reid's staff as an offensive quality control coordinator, and then was the QB coach from 2011 to 2012 in Philadelphia. Then he went with Andy Reid to Kansas City for 3 years, 2013 to 15 as an offensive coordinator, and now in just his second year as the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, 20-12 in the regular season. He was 7-9 last year, 13-3 this year, 20-12, and 2-0 in the postseason. Of course, those wins over Atlanta and Minnesota. So, I mean, he's done a respectable job, but is there any other way this can go? If he wins this game, I mean, kudos to him. I mean, he would be a god in Philadelphia if he can somehow, lead his team to victory. But in the end, come on, it's Belichick all day. So, with that being said, MF, there's only one way to go in this coaching edge. Belichick, Peterson, hands down, it's Belichick. Say what you want about him.
Yeah, it is, no doubt about it. But, Peterson's got a major, and I think he knows that, he has to do literally the perfect game. He has to coach the perfect game. He's got to try to outsmart Bill Belichick in this game on Sunday night. And that's the big factor is, how are you going to adjust to what the Patriots are going to throw at you? Because, at the very beginning, you're probably going to be wired up. You're going to be glued up. You're going to be you don't really need much hype for your team or anybody else, because you guys are literally the underdogs. Nobody's giving you guys a chance. Nobody thinks you're going to win this game. You don't really need a lot of motivation. Everybody's already saying that this is going to be a coordination, a celebration, that it's going to solidify the Patriots again as not only our modern day dynasty, but it's going to put them as the greatest team in NFL history. I mean, so obviously Philadelphia doesn't really need any more motivation to try to prove the naysayers wrong. And, because they've been proving it wrong all season long. Nobody thought they were going to beat Atlanta. They thought that, they didn't think that they were going to beat Atlanta. They beat them. Then they thought, no way you're going to beat Minnesota. Minnesota's got too ferocious of a defense and everything else, and they destroyed Minnesota. So, obviously, Peterson he just doesn't really need to do much. All you need to do is remember, 4 quarters, 60 minutes, and you got to outsmart Belichick. How do you do it? By basically throwing things that Belichick probably was not prepared for. Things that he has not seen on tape, because he's got 2 weeks to prepare. If there's any coach that is better than preparing for a battle with 2 weeks, that's Bill Belichick of the New England Patriots. No doubt about it. The Patriots have not only him, but Josh McDaniels. You got the defensive coordinator. The coaching literally is on advantage New England. They got it. They have such a strong nucleus of a system. So obviously they're going to be fine. No doubt about it. What is Philadelphia going to bring to the table? That's the big question. Are you gonna be ready? Because that's what Atlanta did too. They came out and they punched New England in the mouth. But that's the thing. They laid off and they let New England back in. We'll see what happens on Sunday. Michael Bullock, is yours.
Yeah, you definitely gotta give the edge to Bill Belichick and on this one when it comes to the coaching, because like you said, Fletch, I mean, nobody's better at getting a team prepared with an extra week than Bill Belichick. I mean, he's done this for so many years with the Patriots, whether it was on a bye week during the regular season or a bye week heading into your first playoff game or the Super Bowl in this case. I mean, and you never know what he's gonna throw at you. And I mean, no disrespect to what Doug Peterson has done this season, but he's gonna try to beat Bill Belichick. So I mean, Fletch pretty much touched on everything. So there's really nothing more to say. So Florio, let's move on to the most important part of our preview.
our prediction. Who is going to walk out of US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota this Sunday night with the Vince Lombardi Trophy? I don't know. I don't know. I think we should just simply make this. I think we should simply make this an open forum. And seeing as you know what, I'm going to do things a little differently. Michael Bullock, I want to start with you because you are the impartial of the group. Because MF and I, this is our deal right here. So MF and I will hit you with the big stuff in just a moment. But Michael Bullock, I want to get it started with you here. I think I know where you're going, but nonetheless, Bullock, you're first. Who's walking out of US Bank Stadium Sunday night with the Vince Lombardi Trophy? Will it be your New England Patriots once again, or will it be Fly Eagles Fly for the Philadelphia Eagles for the first time ever?
I'll tell you what, I think this is going to be a really good game, no doubt about it. I'll even say this: I think this is going to be better than their Super Bowl 39 matchup, no doubt about it. I mean, the Eagles defensively, I think they'll give the Patriots some fits here. Just like what Jacksonville did to them in the AFC Championship game. But I just think in the end, I think the experience is gonna factor out. And I think when it comes to the Patriots, what they need to do against that defense, and this is what Fletcher basically talked about. The Patriots need to run that hurry up offense. If they can do that and get this if they can keep this Philadelphia Eagles defense off balance, they should have no problem. So who do I win? Who do I think is going to win? Obviously, that's who I'm going with. I'm going with the New England Patriots to win their 6th Lombardi Trophy in franchise history. And once again, 3rd time in 4 years against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, what is my final score going to be? I am going to say 24-21 New England wins the Lombardi Trophy for the 6th time. So, Anthony Florio, who you got?
I think you see the screenshot right there. That's what it's all about right there. I don't know, is it just me or are we all getting goosebumps looking at that shot right there?
How do you not get goosebumps when you see that?
MF?
You really know at that point when you see this photo that it's real. It gets real at this moment. So yeah, when we saw this yesterday, it kind of there's nothing more to say. There's no more hoopla. There's no more thing. When you see this, it kind of is like, okay, we're here. The moment arrived. And now you start to feel it. Now the adrenaline starts pumping in our blood. Now we start to get excited because now there's nothing left for us. Our job is just begun. So because this now it's gotten real. It's real now.
We are recognizing real MF?
Absolutely.
I say so as well.
Had to throw that in there for him. But all right. Now let's get to my thoughts on this. It all comes down to this. A showdown between the New England Patriots and Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl 52 to determine the newest champions of the NFL. Honestly, it comes as a bit of a surprise to see the 2 top seeds in the AFC and NFC squaring off for the right to be crowned the kings of the league. While the Patriots seemed like shoo-ins after an outstanding regular season, the Eagles spent most of their postseason run as underdogs, following the ACL tear suffered by star quarterback Carson Wentz. What I really like about this matchup is the huge difference between these two teams in terms of Super Bowl history. During their illustrious history, the Eagles have yet to win a Super Bowl, losing both of their appearances in Super Bowls 15 and 39. Meanwhile, the Patriots have a slight edge in the experience department as the reigning champs have been to 3 of the last 4 big games. So what should we be expecting on Super Sunday? Can the underdog Eagles put on an encore of their NFC Championship game performance? Or will Tom Brady simply add another accolade to his resume for greatest quarterback of all time? What to expect from the Patriots? Well, what else should we expect besides plenty of Tom Brady? It's been the Patriots' recipe for success for over a decade, so I wouldn't look for anything different during this Super Bowl. In fact, it's probably the only way the AFC's top dog is going to survive this one. Look for Brady to air it out early and often, relying on smart, mistake-free football to keep the Philadelphia offense on the bench. As we saw during the NFC Championship game, this Eagles defense has a knack for creating turnovers and forcing quarterbacks into costly mistakes. Even Brady can be bothered by an excellent pass rush. Of course, Rob Gronkowski, his status was up in the air throughout this week, but he's on track to return. But will 2 weeks off be enough? If not, the Patriots are going to have to rely on their other weapons to carry the load, which hasn't always worked in the past. Danny Amendola and Dion Lewis got it done against Jacksonville, but this Eagles defense knows how to nullify opponents' top options. Realistically, I think this one will come down to the New England defense. Can they get after Nick Foles and force him to make his own costly mistakes? Will they have it in them to corral Jay Ajayi? It will not be easy, but it will be necessary if they want to make it 2 Super Bowls in a row and 3 out of the last 4. The plan of attack: lean on Brady and get after Foles early and often. They can do both of those things. The Patriots will be in prime position to win their 6th Lombardi trophy. The Philadelphia Eagles have spent all season surprising people. They were not even expected to win the NFC East, and now they're 1 win away from the franchise's first Super Bowl. It's safe to say there's no reason to count them out in this one. The obvious concern here is that it's Foles, not Wentz, under center. The Eagles' backup quarterback looked lost towards the end of the regular season, but is playing with superb confidence and efficiency during these playoffs. Just look at his meticulous, surgeon-esque dissection of the Minnesota Vikings secondary in the NFC Championship. Honestly, I don't see the Philadelphia offense struggling to move the ball. It won't be a complete bulldozing, but Foles should make plenty of plays while Ajayi consistently moves the ball on the ground. Points will be scored early and often. The problem is keeping Brady and company from doing the same. That's why, as was the case with New England, it's going to be up to the Eagles' defense to secure the victory. Can they keep Brady under wraps? Or will the GOAT put on his usual Super Bowl performance? It's anyone's guess, but history would suggest Philadelphia will struggle to slow him down. If the Eagles can create a couple of turnovers and make Brady uncomfortable in the pocket, they should have enough juice to secure the win. They've done it all season long, so I would guess they'll be ready for the big game. So who do I have winning this? Well, the Eagles have embraced the underdog role, and it's working out very well for them. They head into Super Bowl 52 with low external expectations, considering they'll be up against the greatest of all time in Tom Brady, but I can assure you they're aiming for another blowout. While I do not believe this will end in a blowout for either team, it's going to come down to which defense can make more plays. While the Patriots defense got better in the second half of the season, it has struggled at times to slow down efficient offenses. As we saw during the divisional round, Philadelphia may have one of the most efficient offenses in the NFL, especially if it doesn't need Wentz to put up big points. The Eagle defense, meanwhile, has been lights out for most of the season. They've employed the bend but don't break approach, and it earned them the top seed in the NFC. As great as Brady is and has been on the NFL's biggest stage, he's not perfect. Philadelphia will capitalize when those mistakes come, or if those mistakes come, possibly creating a couple of key turnovers along the way. Very tough. My mantra has always been, go with the champions until they get beat, like Jesse the Body Ventura would do. I know there are some people who are actually predicting Philadelphia can pull this out, but considering the history and considering Madden's game before the game on EA Sports, which I have seen, they had the New England Patriots winning this game, and you know the track record when it comes to the game before the game. Here's another key stat. Even though the New England Patriots are the designated home team, they're going to be wearing their road white uniforms, and with good reason. I believe 13 of the last 14 Super Bowl winners have worn the white uniforms. They wore the white uniforms last year, and look how that worked out. They pulled off the greatest Super Bowl comeback of all time, and what it ended up being the greatest Super Bowl of all time. First ever to go to overtime. Could happen again, It could happen again this year. I don't think it will, but it would be something if it did. I would love to see it go down to OT again. I really would. But white uniform, Denver in 50, they wore the white, they won. 49, Patriots in the white, they won. Seattle in 48, they won in the white. 47, Ravens, white. 46, Giants, white. The last colored uniform team to win the Super Bowl, the last non-white uniform to win it, was the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 45 when they wore their home green when they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in Jerry World. And it's pretty much come down to since Super Bowl 39, New England and Philadelphia. New England had the white and they won. In 40, Pittsburgh, they wore the white. Against Seattle. In Detroit, they won. 41, Indianapolis, they wore the white, they won. I think you sense a pattern here. 42, Giants, they wore white. And 43, Steelers in white. 44, Saints in white. So I believe that's 13 out of 14. Until I see it differently, I have to go with the New England Patriots to win this Super Bowl. And I'm going to go with the same final score that the game before the game had it. Patriots 24, Eagles 20. There you go. Nothing more to say except let's bring in the hype man for this. And I hope he's in full hype man mode for this. Good old MF, Michael Fletcher. I believe that looks like the Reddit version of the field. And I'll tell you what, I've been looking for photos of the actual field. And I found one, but it really wasn't to my liking. But I see you have what looks like the Reddit version of it. I wish we could have found a more realer version. But obviously, I saw a lot of tarp on it because of the paint and whatnot. And this is also going to be the coldest Super Bowl in history, even though the game's indoors. I'll get you that statistic in a minute. But MF.
Yeah, the reason why they kind of went with this route and they went this way is because, yeah, they've been tarping up the field. However, this is from Reddit. However, they actually confirmed this is what the field is going to look like on Sunday night. The Eagles from my left to your right, and the Patriots on the right to the left. So basically, this is what the field is going to look like for Super Bowl 52 this Sunday night. The ones that we've seen the whole time, this whole week, was basically the two Super Bowl logos on the 25-yard lines, the big NFL shield on the 50, and that was it. Everything else was all white tarped. And it kind of is a little frustrating for us because we're like, come on, you got to give us something better than that. But unfortunately, this time around, the NFL was like, nope, you ain't going to get anything more than that. We'll give you this, and that's all you're getting from us. So we're like, all right, I guess we'll take what we get. So all you need to know is this is going to be an amazing game. Defense is going to be the factor in this game tonight. And I already said it. Fletcher Cox needs to get to Tom Brady early. Chris Long needs to get to Tom Brady early. They got to play it in a style almost a la what the New York Giants did against the Patriots in the two Super Bowls. What did they do? Smash mouth in your face with great blitz packaging that frustrated Brady all night long, and that's what they got to do. They really got to go back and look at the tape of the 2 Super Bowls that their NFC counterpart, the New York Giants, won the Super Bowl in, because that's practically going to be one of the ways that they can win it all. The other thing is that for Philadelphia, you need Jay Ajayi to run and have a great game. You need your Garrett Blount, the other running back, to really be motivated. And I know he's going to have a lot of motivation right at jump because of the fact that he would love to stick it to his own team, to the former team he used to play with, even though he was on the other end 1 year ago winning a Lombardi Trophy for the Patriots. He would love to stick it to Belichick and the boys one more time, and this time to win a championship for Philadelphia. And let me tell you, they are hungry to win a championship. It's been since 1983 when the Philadelphia 76ers won the NBA title was the last time the city of Philadelphia could celebrate.
No, you're wrong.
Oh, no, I stand corrected. The 2007? 2008 Philadelphia Phillies. I forgot about the Phillies. I'm sorry. That's my bad. But you know where I was going with that. They're hungry for a title. They want it. They feel it. They're sensing it. So obviously you're going to go and you're going to come right out. And the thing is, the best way to beat New England, do what Atlanta did. Not in the second half. Do not do what they did in the fourth quarter. Not that collapse. But you need to jump them. Jump them out early and punch them in the mouth. That's when you gotta really get it. Jump out to that early lead. Do what you did in the NFC Championship game. If you do that, you're won. You've won it all. You're going to get the title because New England is a second half team. Yes, they're poised. Yes, they're positioned, and they will come back. There's going to be a point where they will come back in the game. It's just, what do you do at the early moments of the game? And one other note, ladies and gentlemen, the New England Patriots have never scored any points in the first quarter of a Super Bowl, ever. Never, ever. They've been in this is their 10th Super Bowl, and they've never scored a first quarter point in none of them. They've been 0 for 10 or 0 for 9 in scoring first quarter points in the Super Bowl. That's a shocking stat that I could not even believe I knew, but I wanted to throw that out tonight. So, what do I expect the game to go? I think Philly will jump out early. I think they will get a lead in the first quarter. I think they'll get a touchdown. I think it'll be like 7-0 after 1. New England will come back. They will take the lead. I could see this being like maybe a 14-13 at halftime. Third quarter, this is where now you got the jogging position. This is where the battle is going to start raging. I think New England will hold on. I don't think there's going to be anything in the third. The fourth quarter, this is where New England excels more than any other team in the NFL because they have that mentality of closing a game, especially when it comes to that crunch time moment. It doesn't matter if it's Brady. It doesn't matter if it's the defense. They just find a way to slam the door when it gets to the nitty gritty. Maybe 2 times in their history, they weren't able to close the deal. Super Bowl 42, the stunning upset over the New York Giants, and then 46 when the Giants got them again. Those are the 2 times that they couldn't close the deal. Now, you could say easily that, okay, fair enough, but what about 49? What if the Malcolm Butler thing didn't happen? What if Atlanta didn't choke in 51? Fair analysis. As a matter of fact, I could easily say that the Patriots could have gone over in its entire history. What if the greatest show on turf got into that overtime period. Clearly, the momentum was on their side. What if there wasn't that botch kickoff that went out of bounds that gave the Patriots a short field? Could they've lost 38? Donovan McNabb choking under the pressure in 39. So easily there's so many hypotheticals and theories and the whole 9 yards that I can throw that easily the dynasty could never have been. But we got 5. When it's all said and done on Sunday night, it's going to be 6. I also got the Patriots winning the Super Bowl. My final score is 23-17. Brady will be Brady, but I don't think he's going to be the man in this game. I expect the running game to really establish James White. I think they're going to establish early off because they need to establish the run more than anything else. I think Gronk will have a good game, not a great game. Amendola will continue to do what he has been doing throughout the postseason, and that's clutch plays down the line and everything else. But I believe it's going to be the defense that's going to win this Super Bowl for the Patriots. Yes, I'm calling for it, guys. I think a defensive player for the New England Patriots will be your MVP of Super Bowl 52. I'm calling it right now, and I'm going to go on that limb. Every other year, you say, oh, it's Brady, it's this, it's that. For the first time since I believe it was 40, actually since 50, when Von Miller got it, I believe a New England defensive player will win the most valuable player of Super Bowl 52. 23-17, New England wins the 6th Lombardi Trophy in their history, and that will tie them for the most Super Bowl victories along with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Anthony, it is all yours.
Oh, man. I don't know how to follow that. But before we wrap up, though, I read an article, guys, saying that this Super Bowl is going to be the coldest Super Bowl on record. According to this weather site that I go on, kickoff's going to be right around 5:30 Minnesota time. Temperature at kickoff's going to be 5 degrees. It's going to be 5 degrees with a wind chill of -10. And when the game ends around probably 9, maybe 10, if it ends around 9 o'clock Minnesota time, 10 hours, we're looking at 3 degrees with a wind chill of -12. 10 o'clock, probably 2 degrees, -12. But game time, when the game kicks off around 5:30 or so, we're looking at in excess of 5 degrees with a wind chill of -10.
Well, thank God. It's indoors in a retractable roof stadium, because it is not going to be that cold inside that stadium. I can rest assure you that.
Yes, indeed. So, so that pretty much puts the bow on this very special edition of Strictly Sports, our preview of Super Bowl 52. We hope we helped you out. We hope we gave you all the X's and O's that you needed to know. Hope we did the best we could. So that's pretty much all there is to say on that. Of course, we're gonna wrap it up with our quick shout outs here. So MF or Bullock, whoever wants it first, take it, and then I'll set up the future content.
All right, I guess I'll lead off then, because Bullock's not there. First off, I want to say thank you to all the great. Oh, go ahead, Bullock. I'll let you start.
All right. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, of course, I want to, shout out to all the great fans out there. You are number one in our books. We thank you for tuning in for our Super Bowl preview edition of Strictly Sports, and of course, shout outs to all of our super fans out there. You guys know who you are. To all of our friends from our high school days, you guys know who you are. to all of our news personalities from 6, 10, and 12, and of course the personalities from ESPN, Fox Sports, MLB Network, NFL Network. Of course, NFL Network busy with their coverage of Super Bowl 52 in Minneapolis, and kudos to them. And and of course all the other networks out there, and of course our friends from the Road Show, of course the usual suspects, of course former co-host Mary Larson, Megan Mooney, and of course the current people, Will Gilbert, Brendan Gervey, and Michaela Johnson. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for me. So until Sunday night for our recap of Super Bowl 52 on Fletcher's channel, Braves Fan 95. This is Mike Bullock saying thank you all so very much for tuning in. And of course, you know the routine. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up 424 style. Bye for now. And enjoy the Super Bowl, everybody. And of course, most importantly, of course, if you're going to be having a Super Bowl party, which I will be, of course, stay safe out there. And of course, don't drink. Of course, don't do anything stupid out there. So enjoy it, everyone. Fletcher, now it's your turn.
Well, I want to say thank you very much for everybody who's getting a chance to watch this and the whole 9 yards. You guys, it's going to be fun. It's going to be unbelievable. What a Super Bowl we're going to have. It is definitely an honor that I'm going to get to do this with so many of the great guys out there. And, I'm excited. I'm excited for the game. I'm excited for what's going to happen. What is it going to look like? Well, we'll wait and see what happens. But one thing's for sure, this is going to be an unbelievable game and an unbelievable Super Bowl. And, shout out to all my friends in the junior high and high school days. Shout out to everybody who's been a part of this one. And, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great game. And without a doubt, the Super Bowl is truly an event that's, words can't put into how awesome the game is. And, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be fun, and there's really nothing more to say. So shout out to the super fans, shout out to the 2184 crew. Love you guys to death. And that's it. So until then, we'll see you on Sunday night for Super Bowl 52 recap. I'm gonna schedule it right now for 11 p.m. Eastern. So if anything, we'll tinker it along the way, because I know people might have Super Bowl parties. We'll figure it out. So somewhere between 11 and 11:30, because I don't have to work the next day. So we'll find out. So just keep an ear on all social media platforms. And until then, it's Mike Fletcher. You know the routine. Hugs and hand pounds. I'm out. Have a good night. Anthony, take it home.
Yeah, we'll do on that. Special shout out to all of our tremendous fans and viewers out there. We continue to make our projects as over as they are. We appreciate it as always. You are the best fans in the world, hands down. Special shout out to Dee Woodson, Kevin Woodson, and the Woodson family. Matt Ward, Jason Hicksonbaugh, Daniel Luttrell from the UK, our other first ladies, Kaiser Butler, Megan Silva, Lexi Calloway, and of course our other crew members, Tommy Souza, Eric Carrier, Jimmy Alden, Al Braderson, and Rob Parsons, and of course the man himself, Bowler Club Soldier 445, Derek Ferreira, and of course all of our personalities who have done a tremendous job this week covering the game from channel 6, 10, and 12. All of our friends over at ESPN, the NFL Network, the NHL Network, the MLB Network, the NBA TV, FS1, and of course my personal shout outs, Chantel McKay from the Golf Channel, Data Sorrell, Lindsay McCormick, we can't forget about them. Our friends from the Road Show, Will Gilbert, Brendan Kirby, and Michaela Johnson, and the former co-hosts Megan Mooney and Mary Larson. Megan Mooney, who's now on Channel 10, doing the traffic reports, doing a great job with that. And of course, last but not least, the folks who I'll be starting my Super Bowl Sunday with, of course, like I do each and every Sunday. My wonderful friends and church family over at Oasis of Grace Ministries on 464 Silver Spring Street in Providence. If you need a church home, check them out. Exit 25 off Route 95. Also, keep an eye out on their Facebook page. They usually post a Facebook Live video of the Sunday service. So I'm sure that's going to be going down again this Sunday. So give it a look if you can. No better way to start off your Super Bowl Sunday than that, in my book, hands down. I cannot wait to see them. It's going to be a great day. I already feel it in my gut. It's going to be a wonderful day, like it always is. So 9 a.m. Bible study, a little after 10, right around 10:30 is the service, and Wednesday night at 7, Bible study. Great things going on there. Love it, and can't wait to start off my Super Bowl Sunday by seeing them as always. So I got a feeling Sunday's going to be a great day. That's all there is to say on that. So. All right, so future content coming up. Of course, like they mentioned, Super Bowl recap over on MF's channel, Braves Fan 95, right around 11:30. We'll let you folks know as soon as we have it down pat. We'll find out because you never know how long this game could go. I mean, if this game goes into OT, it could go for a while, but we're leaning towards 11:30 for that recap show over on MF's channel, Braves Fan 95. And then Monday night, right back here, we got Ridiculously Raw. Of course, we'll continue the road to the Elimination Chamber, which is the next pay-per-view, to the Raw exclusive pay-per-view on the 25th. So we'll give you our thoughts. We'll tell you what happened on Monday Night Raw. We'll give you our thoughts on. We'll give you our review on that, and of course, Mike Tony's take on 205 Live and Impact Wrestling, and I got a very positive review coming out of 205 Live. I'm going to tell you that right now. Big things going down on 205 Live. And, you know, I got into it the other night with MF on Cerebral Smack Talk, and I'll give you the full details about what happened in my Tony's Taking, as well as Impact Wrestling. Something humongous happened on that show. A new champion was crowned. Who was that? We'll let you folks know. I'll let you folks know on as part of my Tony's Take. When I do my Impact review. And then Tuesday night, not sure what the time is, but we'll be back with MF on his channel, Braves Fan 95, for the Cerebral Smack Talk, SmackDown Live, maybe a Mikey's Mindset, we'll see. And then next Friday night, back to our regular editions of Strictly Sports. We'll see what Derek has on the docket for us for next week. I believe the next power ranking should be NHL, so I think we'll probably, and I don't know what else we'll have, but keep an eye out on Derek or the Strictly Sports Facebook page come Monday or so, and I'm sure he'll have a docket ready for us, and we'll go into that. So, all right, so that's it. So, till Sunday night for our Super Bowl 52 recap. It's Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher, for Michael Bullock, and in spirit, Didi Woodson and Derek Ferreira. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed weekend. Have a blessed Super Bowl. Enjoy it with your family, your friends, your loved ones, what have you. It's gonna be a wonderful day and a wonderful night. I for one cannot wait. It's one of my favorite days of the year. I would have been a little more excited if Minnesota had made it, but I think it'll still be a good Super Bowl. So, all right. So until then, for everybody who's been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio,